Good evening, all of you. Welcome to newspaper session. So today's newspaper highlights are the major heading is about the Northeast India. Northeast to be a gateway for trade with Southeast Asia. If you see here the first line, India's Northeast is not a frontier region anymore. It is the front runner of the growth. This is what said by the Prime Minister. Now, these kind of statements can be helpful to write in the conclusions. If a question is asked about the Northeast, so it will be very wise to use these kind of statements in the conclusions. So it is no more a kind of frontier. It is a front runner, the growth. Okay. So accordingly, we can mold as per the demand of the question. That's the point that we have to keep in mind. Now, in the same way, what are the other headlines that are going? So what is this? What is happening with regard to Northeast India? Let's see in detail. Now see the map properly. This is our northeastern part of India. And if you can see here, these are the areas, like say you have the Myanmar border, and here you have the Bangladesh, and here you have the West Bengal. If we have to reach out to any of the states of this Northeast, then either we have to go in this way, okay, through land route, or Bangladesh should give access to us. Now you all might be knowing there is a regime change that has happened in the Bangladesh. The current regime is not pro-India. You might have also seen they are making statements which are not good for the India-Bangladesh relationships. They have said, recently you might have seen, okay, their interim government head, Yunus, has said, India's Northeast is landlocked. This is the statement he has used. And he has also asked for the China investment. So why this thing, investment in this Northeast area is very important for us? Apart from the developmental purposes, for the security also, this investment in the Northeast India becomes very important. If you can see here, this is the small area, Siliguri corridor, which we call it as a chicken neck. Only through this small area, we get access to the Northeast. Now, if Bangladesh is denying a transit for us to enter into the Northeast, now we have to travel all this way, okay, to reach out to the parts of the Northeast. This is increasing the travel time. Your goods also become costly. If say Northeast is exporting to other states, exporting within India to the other states, certain items, the more the travel time, the more the distance, so the profitability will come down. So we need better trading routes also. And at the same time, we also need a comprehensive development. That's why investment summit is going on. In this summit, our Prime Minister has made a statement. Okay, this can be the not just a kind of frontier, it is a front runner in the development and progress. So you need to see why all the Northeast is important for us. Now we have seen the strategic reason, right? So in order to reduce the control of Bangladesh and also to improve our connectivity to the Northeast also, we need to focus more on the Northeast. There was a time where Northeast people used to feel disconnected with the rest of India. They used to feel they are not being treated well. Okay, so various measures have been taken by the government of India to reduce the disconnect. A new ministry has been created and infrastructure development schemes have been also taken up in order to bring development in that particular area. Okay, see here, I have given you why the Northeast focus is very important to us. If you can see here, only through the Northeast, we can enter into the Southeast Asian countries. That's why we have also policies like Act East policy, right? So where we are trying to connect with the Southeast Asian countries, and if we have very good connectivity with these countries, and if we have very good investment in these areas, so we can develop a supply chain and we can also connect our supply chain with the Southeast Asian countries. This can enhance, it can build the development it can bring not only development for the Northeast India, but also for the rest of the India. So we are talking from the security angle, we are talking from the diplomacy angle, we are talking from the developmental angle. Okay, and also you might be knowing, okay, this area is also known for a lot of insurgency. There are so many tribal groups present here. Okay, you have Naga issues, you might be seeing issues in the Mizoram, you might be seeing issues in the Tripura. Okay, Manipur, you have seen the recent issues. Various tribal groups, they are fighting against themselves. Okay, there is tribal versus tribal conflict. Tribal is having conflict with the government, and also there is an issue of drug trafficking in this area. So even the security, internal security issues are also very huge in this area, and also in order to bring those security related concerns, we need to bring the development. Like I have said in the previous session also, development is a very good antidote to the security threats. Okay, so these are the reasons. Now I have very quick points for you. Why this focusing on the Northeast is very important. The security dimension, the Chicken Necks Siliguri corridor, which I have mentioned about. Then we are like to make this a gateway to the Southeast Asia, to make our policies like Act East policy to successful, and also to control the internal security threats. And also there is economic significance. You have very good natural resources, like especially the timber is very good here, and also you have very good oil resources region in the areas of the Assam. And then this area can be suitable for certain types of the agriculture products, and they can be utilized in the food processing industries. So we also have very good economic potential in this area. So in this way, we are broadly talking about why the focus on the Northeast is very important from multiple dimensions, from the security dimension, both internal and external, from the economic dimension, from the social dimension. So this is what we got. Now, what are the various things that are being done by the government? Government is trying to attract the investment from the private player. So that is why the current investor summit, the first Northeast investor summit, is being conducted. And the same way, government is taking various measures to bring the infrastructure development in India, in the Northeast India. In the same way, they have created a separate ministry to handle the issues with the Northeast. So these are the parts we need to see. And another important area that we need to see is, like I have mentioned, the connectivity towards the Northeast is a problem. So we have developed Kaladan Multimodal Transit Project. Okay, so see here, the Kaladan Multimodal Transport Project. Now in this project, we are trying to bypass your Bangladesh. If you can see here, from Kolkata port to we are reaching to the Sitwe port of the Myanmar. So we no more want to depend on the Bangladesh. Like you have seen, the Bangladesh has made a statement. Okay, like Northeast is landlocked. Now see, can you see? So we are making all sorts of the development. We should not leave any kind of loopholes. We are taking developmental measures, we are taking infrastructural measures, everything we are doing. And this project is multimodal project. The word, what does the word multimodal indicates? Multimodal indicates the transportation is happening on the multiple dimensions. Okay, see, if it is a transport, when I say multimodal means, so it includes roads, railways, airways, waterways. Now within the waterways, there are inland waterways and through the sea routes. So we always need such a kind of multimodal connectivity. Every transport has its own advantage. So we need to develop all these factors, and the Kaladan project is also a multimodal project. Why we are saying this is a multimodal project? Okay, so first we will directly reach into the Sitwe port. They can simply ask in the prelims, Sitwe port, match the following. They will give you Myanmar, Bangladesh, China, like this. Okay, so you should not get confused. However, this is such a huge project. I don't think they may ask these kind of easy questions, but still there is a trend, like out of 100 questions, you will get 15 to 20 very easy questions. You might feel UPSC can they ask these level of easy questions? You might feel that way. But if you are studying consistently, for you it looks very easy fundamental question. But for the student who is not doing the preparation in a consistent manner, so for them it is a difficult question. So prepare in this way. Okay, so now first through the sea route, we are reaching to this Sitwe port. Now if you can see here, through this small river, then we are taking this water route. Okay, inland water route. See this, then how the areas are being connected. Okay. Then Kolkata to Sitwe, and then here we are taking the other routes. Then from there we are entering into, these are the parts of your Myanmar. From Myanmar we are entering into the northeastern India. So our project is basically till the Aizawl. So we want to extend it to the Shillong. In this way, we can easily enter into the area of our Meghalaya and also in the Assam easily without having any problem of the Bangladesh. So what are the components it has? So these kind of questions also they ask. Now you might be focusing only on the Kolkata to Sitwe port, but that is not the only component. Sitwe to Paletwa, this is a inland waterway route. Primarily on the Kaladan River which is present in the Myanmar. So that becomes very important for us. Then Paletwa to the Zorinpuri. They may ask these kind of locations in the mapping. So usually for the mapping, we focus those things that are regularly happening in the news. You don't have to do as if it is a kind of some kind of optional. People complicate the things. They will try to do all the small fundamental aspects. Okay, not fundamental aspects, small little minor things also doing on the map and all. Okay, those things are not relevant. The majority things which are repeated in the news, frequently being focused, you should be aware of those things, and easily your mapping section will be covered. If you consistently do this kind of newspaper analysis for 1 year, you will not worry about the mapping section as well. Sitwe to Paletwa, and then Paletwa to Zorinpuri, and then Zorinpuri to the Aizawl. Okay, so this is how we are trying to do. Like I have said in the previous session, for every 1 rupee you invest in the infrastructure, you will generate the 4 rupees. This is going to create huge employment opportunities. This is also having the strategic importance. When I say strategic, it means a kind of very broader long-term implications in terms of the positive thing. Okay, that is going to happen for India, because our dependency on the Bangladesh will come down and our connectivity to the northeast increases. When these things happen, development will happen. All the insurgency can also reduce. So multiple advantages it has. And this is the most important thing that is government is going to focus, and this can be asked any day in the exam. See here, that's what I have given here. It is alternative to the Siliguri corridor. It can improve the trade and commerce. But what is the problem? This currently, you might be knowing, the Myanmar is going through crisis. Okay, there are internal disturbances are going on. So we have 2 projects apart from this Kaladan multimodal project. We also have the India, Myanmar, Thailand highway trilateral project. Both of these projects are suffering because of the internal disturbances that are going on in the Myanmar region. Now we will also discuss the FATF. In the FATF blacklist, MATA is also added. Okay, we'll discuss about the FATF, what is FATF and all. So I'm just trying to highlight the scenario that is currently with the Myanmar. These are the challenges. It is not simply about the funding problem. The local government should also have little stability. Local in the sense, the Myanmar government should also have the stability. They should be able to control the scenarios so that development can happen. Okay, and also this project is mutually beneficial to both the countries. It is not the benefit only for the India, because here we are going to develop the waterways, roadways in the Myanmar, and entire funding is being provided by the India. Okay, we are providing these funds to the Myanmar to build these roads and the waterways in the form of grants, not loan. Grant means there will not be any interest rates. Loans means there will be interest rate. Okay, so now if I ask you, if I talk to you about the Northeast, you should first get the visual map. 7 sister states plus Sikkim. Totally 8 states we are focusing on. The same thing is being called as a Ashtalakshmi. This thing you need to understand. So why the Northeast is important? The points I have given you. Okay, economically why it is significant, strategically why it is significant, socially why it is significant. Okay, how it is going to strengthen our foreign policy. That is the Actist policy. Okay, these points should come into mind in your mind. So what is a major project that are being done to get the access to this Northeast? Then first thing that has to come into your mind is Kaladan multimodal project, and also India, Myanmar, Thailand highway project. Okay, this is the highway project. Okay, see here, I have given this thing as well. They will ask these projects are connecting to which areas. Okay, so I will say More and then to the Mysore. Okay, and then in between it is a Yangon. So remembering these locations are also very important for us. So you have got the broad picture. So whenever, if you are a beginner, do not try to mug up the facts. First, understand the big picture, understand the scenario. Okay, this is the current state of the Northeast India. This is why we are focusing on the Northeast India. This is the concept. This is simply a kind of story. There are no facts. Maybe the facts here are the areas that are being connected in these projects. Okay, at this stage, even if you could not remember the same facts, that is fine. Because as you proceed, so many times it keeps on coming in the news. There will not be much change. The projects cannot be finished overnight. They will take years and years. So as every day these keep on coming in the news, by the time your exam approaches, you will be easily able to remember all these kind of factual details. The first stage for you should be having clarity on these fundamentals, having clarity on these basic concepts. Okay, so we have done this major news. Now see here, the another major news that is happening in the Indian Express, which they have mentioned, is FATF's June meet. India will hand dossier on par to get it back on the grey list. Firstly, what is FATF? What is this grey list and black list? Let's understand this thing. Okay. So in the previous session, I have told you, in India, we have a enforcement directorate to handle the economic crimes. This is in the India. Now, what about the scenario of having such kind of intelligence gathering, information sharing at the global level? Now, what is happening in the Pakistan, we cannot control. If the things are happening within India, we can use our enforcement directorate to handle the issues related to the money laundering, terror financing, all these activities can be handled. But what about the scenario when it is happening globally outside India? So that's why we need an intergovernmental body. Understand the word intergovernmental body. Intergovernmental body means all the various countries are coming together and forming an organization. This is a FATF is a such global watchdog for money laundering, and it is a intergovernmental body first initially established in the 1989 by the G7 countries, group of 7 countries. Okay, there are various groupings. G7 is one such grouping. Like this, we have also G20. Okay, and another G4 also we have. For now, keep this thing aside. Okay, so then when we say FATF, this is the first thing that we have that has to come into our mind. It is an intergovernmental body. Now, is India a member of this thing? Of course, India is a member, but India was not member right in 1989. Okay, eventually India became member in 2010. And where is the headquarter of this FATF organization? This headquarter is present in the Paris. Okay, its secretariat is present in the Paris. Now, its main objective again is to handle the like it is working like a kind of economic intelligence unit to handle this economic crimes and all. How do they do? Okay, basically whoever country participate in this thing, okay, they have to share the information. They have to share information regarding their financial institutions, how they are handling their finances or not being misutilized by the terrorist groups, how they are making sure whatever the funds the country is gathering, whatever the investment the country is receiving are not going into the wrong hands. In order to make this thing very clear, so they have to provide transparent information regarding their financial institutions. Okay, So when there is a transparency, then there will be clarity. If there is no such kind of transparency, this organization will place this that particular country into the grey list. Okay, that means there is no transparency. And when it is clear, okay, they are supporting this terror financing or anything, then they will put them in the blacklist. Once this country is kept in the blacklist, then investments in that country will be almost negligible. So now currently, Pakistan is not there in the grey list. Previously, it used to be in the grey list somewhere in 2018 and 2019. In the 2022, FATF said, okay, it is meeting the standards and Pakistan has been removed from the grey list. Now, India, during its FATF meeting, which is going to happen in the next month, in the June, it is going to submit various documents to prove how the Pakistan is supporting the terrorism and why it should be kept in the grey list. Okay, so this is the point that we need to understand. Now, who is the major decision-making body of the FATF? It is the FATF plenary. They meet thrice a year and then take the decisions regarding the grey list and the blacklist. That is a point that we need to remember. So, in the grey list, you have so many countries. You can just see and have an idea. In the blacklist, currently, you have the North Korea, Iran and the Myanmar. This is the point that we need to know. That's it. These are the things you might have seen how many times it has come in the news in the last 10 to 15 days. Same thing. Same article is being repeated. Okay. In the first day, maybe when you are trying to understand the current affairs, when we are talking about the enforcement directorate, when we are talking about the economic intelligence unit, maybe you might have understood only 50% of the content. But now, when we have discussed the same thing and we are trying to add one more layer about the global body, so your understanding has increased. So always give yourself some time, watch the lectures peacefully and try to revise the previous content. Then things will settle in mind. Then you will have proper clarity as all the things will settle in your mind. Okay, so give yourself little bit time and do things in a simple manner. Like I'm always saying, always try to first understand the first basic thing. Now, if I say FATF to you, 3 or 4 points, the simple fundamental points should always come into your mind. What is this thing? The intergovernmental body, the main purpose, what is the main purpose of this body? To handle the, to check the finances regarding terror financing or money laundering. To make sure all the financial institutions are operating in a transparent manner and finances are not being misused to fund these terrorist kind of activities or money laundering is not happening. So basic organization. Okay. So totally there are 40 countries in this FATF organization, and remember Pakistan is not a member of this FATF. We have totally 40 members. That's it. Now see, can you see here? Now let's move to the another main heading of the news. See here. Trump wants Apple of 25% tariff if it sells India-made iPhones in the US. Okay. So can you see here? Okay, maybe now you can connect. We have already discussed WTO, or we have discussed about the various tariffs that are being like imposed by the USA on different nations. See, there is nothing much news here from the exam point of view. Just you need to see heading. Okay, this is what the Trump is doing. I do not know. Okay, this is not the way to be dealt. Okay, it is like, it is literally, it's a like kind of forcing some organization or some entity, okay, to you have to do this thing or face the consequences. This is not how the things work in the liberalized era, right? In the liberalized era, every organization has freedom to see and to invest wherever it wants to. And Apple is not having any kind of love towards India. Why are they investing in India? Because they are going to make profits out of it. We in India have very cheap labor and government is also offering them various tax incentives. Okay, that's the reason, to make the profit. That's why any private organization, that's what any private organization wants to do. They want to make more and more profits, and India is able to provide them the opportunities. That's why they are trying to do. Okay, that's how you deal in the general phase of liberalization. Okay, so anyway, this thing is happening. Just you need to be aware. Okay, and another thing that is happening is no foreign students, some relief. So crackdown of the USA on the Harvard University. So what is this crackdown? What is happening? Just have some kind of awareness. Again, these questions are not independently cannot be asked. Okay, what is the issue that is happening in the Harvard University? Okay, by the next time, like after 1 year, this will not be much relevant. But for us, we need to have some kind of awareness using this topic, how the scenarios runs. Okay, so generally, their department of in the USA, Department of the Homeland Security, they will offer SVEP certification for any universities, like say Harvard or any other universities. They will offer this SVEP certification. Only after the certification is offered to the particular university, then they can they can allow the students, okay, to study in their university. Based on this thing only, once the certification has been issued, then admissions will be opened. Like say if you are going to study in the Harvard University, then depending upon the course you are enrolling, you will be given the visa. So different types of the visas are there. Okay, H1 visa, L1 visa, those are the work permits. Here you will be seeing F1, M1 and the J1 visas. This is based on the types of the course you are choosing. Okay, maybe if it is a vocational course or something like that, your visa will be different. Now, if this certificate for the Harvard University is cancelled, now I have taken the visa in the Harvard for the where Harvard has got this kind of certification. Now, if the USA cancels this certification, then it will threaten my visa because I have took visa based on that thing. So there is this. These are kind of very haphazard kind of things. And also, Harvard is not a small university, right? Any such a thing can have global implications, like in terms of knowledge, in terms of technology share, development and all. Okay, it is not good for the USA and also any educational institutions. But let me tell you, why the USA government has taken such step. If you raise the question, so according to USA government, the students who are coming there, okay, they are not coming there for the education purposes. Not everyone. Okay, they are saying certain students coming they are coming like students, but they are members of the China or some other countries. They are trying to bring their agenda. Okay, like say they are supporting the Palestine issue, they are protesting against the Israel. These kind of activities are happening in these kind of universities. If the universities cannot restrict these kind of activities, then we are going to crack down on the university. This is the message the USA government is sending to the universities. Okay, basically these universities, they give more freedom of speech. We have seen already the freedom of speech and expression scenario in India. Okay, in the same way, even in the USA also, they allow such kind of more freedom of speech and expression. Okay, but somehow maybe few students can also involve in the anti-national activity, anti-national in the sense of the USA. Okay, these things can happen. Okay, but this is not happening with every student, right? Maybe there can be some 5% of the students or 1% of the students. It is very important they track these kind of students and make these universities the best places for the knowledge. Okay, they instead of doing this thing, they are cracking down on the whole universities. That is not the right thing. So you need to have this clarity what is happening. Now another thing, liberalized remittances scheme. Okay, this is in the news. Okay, this is also in the heading. If you can see here in the main page, student remittances under the liberalized remittances scheme. Okay, in financial year 2025 is lowest. What is this LRS? Yesterday I was talking about foreign exchange management. Okay, that means when I was talking about like say dollar and rupee exchanges, I have mentioned that if you want to spend something in the dollars, there are always restrictions. You cannot do as the way you want. If any, like say, if any foreign player, if any foreign investor has invested in India, now they cannot take away all the investment as they want because there are capital account restrictions. Once the dollar comes in, it has to come in with a certain lock-in period. Okay, you have some kind of capital account restrictions. In the same way, RBI has come up with a certain scheme called liberalized remittances scheme. I have told you there is a restrictions on the usage of taking away or purchasing the dollar or taking away the money that has been invested in India. Okay, so this liberalized remittances scheme, it will give a kind of limit. It is $250,000. Okay, let me take it here. under this scheme, every resident individual can remit up to the 2,50,000 US dollars in every financial years, including the minors. And this thing can be used both for the current and the capital account transactions. Understand clearly every word that is given. Current account means for the trading or buying some kind of goods and services. That is called current account transactions. Okay, I am purchasing some kind of PlayStation or some chocolates in the USA. Okay, this is purchase of goods and services. That comes under the current account transaction. Capital account transaction means now I am purchasing dollars, like I have taken the dollar from India and I am investing in the USA. I am investing in the USA shares or in their company. That transactions comes under the capital account transactions. So there is a limitation up to till what amount you can do these kind of activities. Current account and capital account, it is a 2,50,000. So this is the concept that you need to understand. Now here only I have mentioned, like say if they have made any kind of illegal transactions, okay, they have crossed beyond this $2,50,000, but somehow they are not reporting it to the RBI. Now you need to connect economic intelligence unit or enforcement directorate coming into the picture. I have told you the enforcement directorate is implementing this provisions of Foreign Exchange Management Act. So you need to relate and link things. I have taken up this small scheme so that it adds a kind of revision for you. Okay, so now this is not only one thing, okay, not only just for the purchase of the goods and services. Now let's say I need to travel to USA. If I have to travel to USA, I cannot take rupee there. Okay, so I will use my rupees. Okay, I will give 87 or 85, whatever the rupees, and I'll take $1. In the same way, how many amounts of dollar I require, accordingly I will pay in the rupees. Maybe I'm just going for the travel purposes. Then I need again dollar for the spending. So all those things comes under this capital account and the current account. So I may need dollars for the study purposes. So like this, I am using the rupee to convert it to dollar under this scheme. Okay. But RBI is saying that the amount of this remittances, okay, the conversion has come down. That means that is indicating, for suppose, okay, well, like say if 10 people are traveling outside India to do these kind of activities, tourism, education and all. So this indicates the amount of tourism activity outside India has come down. The amount of education, the people traveling for the education outside India has come down. This is what the data is indicating to us. Because this LRS, the remittances has come down. Even in the budget, we have tried to promote this LRS by reducing the tax on this. Okay, now for suppose if what is the taxation like TDS or TCS, what does it mean? Now if I say for suppose if I am getting $100 by paying the rupees, okay, from the exchange rate broker, I am trying to get the $100. If the tax of 5% is introduced at the source itself, they will cut the 5% and they will give the remaining amount to me. Okay, later on, if any other source is available, then I can claim. This is called the tax deduction at the source. Okay, this can be applied at various other places. Even during the even during the payment for your work also, most of the times tax deduction happens at the source. If you are getting the salary, the person, whoever is giving you the salary, they will deduct the required amount of thing that is mentioned by the government at the source itself and they will give it to you. So this is the concept of the TDS or the TCS. At the source itself, the deduction will happen, whatever the taxable amount is there. Okay. So these are the things that you need to know. Just you need to be aware of liberalized remittance scheme. This can be directly asked in the prelims. What is the scheme? What is the limits? What are the value, that is the limit value in this scheme? Okay. So COVID cases are rising, but like experts are saying, it is not that kind of threatening, or it is not that the virus has not mutated in such a manner which can be harmful to your life. Okay, so just the cases might be rising because they are going undetected. But currently, with the way they are progressing, it is not a kind of threat to your life. The another major thing that is in the news is revised capital framework. This is the important, economic capital framework. This is the most important thing. Understand this thing. This is a very important thing. In the GS3, in the area, like say they will ask questions on the RBA, they will ask questions related to the monetary policy, price stability and all. So there, this topic becomes very important. Economic capital framework. They can also ask this question in the prelims. Focus very well. Understand the concept very properly. What is this economic capital framework? As per this economic capital framework, the RBI should share its profits with the government. This is what the economic capital framework is. Then, in the recent news, they have shared somewhere 2.5 to 2.6 lakh crore with the government. 2.6 lakh crore with the government. So, whenever the sharing of profit happens by the RBI towards the government, this thing always comes in the news. So, for this, the implications, are there any kind of positive implications or negative implications? Is there any criticism for this? To understand this thing, you need to understand the economic capital framework, the structure of the RBI. So generally what happens is, if I have share in any particular company, suppose if I am the owner of the company, there is one company and I am the owner of it, 100% ownership I have in that company. So whatever the profits that company makes, they are mine, right? So the same thing is being said by the government. Now government is the one having the 100% ownership in the RBI. So government says some part of its profits has to be given to the government, keeping certain amount for its requirements as a buffer. Rest of the profits has to be shared to the government. Now how much should be kept aside and how much profit should be shared with the government? This framework is called the economic capital framework. So in the layman terms, in the simple terms, economic capital framework means how much amount of profits the RBI has to share with the government and how much profits it has to keep itself for the buffer purposes or development of the assets for the RBI. Okay, so this is the concept of the economic capital framework. Now, okay, government is a major investor in the RBI. That is fine. Okay. The Reserve Bank was established in the 1935 with the provisions of the RBI Act 1934. The central office of the Reserve Bank was initially established in Kolkata, later moved to the Mumbai. Then if you see here, though originally privately owned, later on it got nationalized in the 1949. Now from where the RBI gets the money? So we are saying if it gets the profit, they have to share it with the government. That is fine. But what is the RBI's source of finances? Now you might be knowing the RBI holds forex reserves. Like in these forex reserves, you have the gold. They will also hold dollars. Okay, they will also hold various other currencies. Now the gold rates are increasing, so RBI is also getting profits or returns from there. This is one way. The RBI is holding dollars. You might have seen the value of the dollar is increasing. Previously it was somewhere around 60, 70. Now the value of the dollar has gone till beyond 85. Now the RBI has made profits. So RBI has made certain investments. So one thing is like investment in the golds, investment in the dollars and all, the returns are being generated. This is the first thing. Second thing is RBI also provides loans to the central government, to the state government and also to the other banks. Repo rate, okay, you might be seeing this thing in the news. Now once I give the loan, then I will be charging interest. Now I am getting returns on those things. Okay, this way. That is another way. RBI also conduct various operations like open market operations where RBI will be holding government bonds. Okay, they will go and sell in the market these government bonds and they will get the money. Okay, like this, they are conducting various activities. In this way, they are generating the income. Okay, this is how gold, loans to the central government, state government, banks. Okay? So as you go on, you will study about the various types of the bonds, various types of the treasury bonds and all. Okay, so those things, security bills, G6, you will understand in your conventional economy classes. I'm just going through the current affairs. From all these things, RBI will get the money. Then RBI also need to print the currency. There will be some expenditure. The RBI also have to pay for its administration and staff. There will be some expenditure. After the expenditure and after the revenue, whatever the money that is left out with the RBI, that is the profit. Now, from that profit, how much money has to be shared with the government? Okay, there is always that kind of confusion. In the 2014 and the 2015 scenario, RBI used to hold 27% of its money profits with itself. 27. Okay, this is considered to be a highest. Government says, what will you do with that much level of profit? If you give that money to us, then we can make use of that money. We are having high fiscal deficit. We have so much of need to do the investment in the infrastructure. If you, instead of money sitting idle with the RBI, that can be taken by the government and do investment in the infrastructure related projects. Is it not a good idea? Okay, then someone said, no. How can you take the RBI's money? Okay, then government has appointed the Bimal Jalal committee. Then the committee has given a certain framework that is called the revised economic capital framework, and that is the framework that is being currently utilized as per this framework. So see, I have given the definition. What is the economic capital framework? Okay, then see here. Then we have told you, okay, Bimal Jalal committee to review this economic capital framework. Now, as per the section 47 of the RBI Act, they have to share the profits. Now, how much profits? Okay, so internationally, okay, it is always less than the 27%. The committee said RBI is holding so much of the money. So they said they have divided the RBI's profits into, understand this concept, realized and the unrealized profit. Okay, if I can show you here. See here, they are holding 26.8% of their balance sheet. Okay, so then they have mentioned. It is in the notes, you can go through. Okay, I will tell you what is this realized and unrealized profit. So, committee said, okay, they have divided the RBI surplus money into the realized and the unrealized profits. Now, what is this thing realized and unrealized profit means? Let's say RBI is holding the gold. Gold rates has increased, but RBI has not sold them to realize the profit. Now, somewhere RBI is getting, because of the loans, interest rates. That is the realized profit. Here, gold, it is not being sold. So, this is the unrealized profits. Unrealized, simple. Do not get into the technical things. Unrealized profit, and this is the realized profit. Sharing has to be done only on the realized profit. They have said you keep some 6 to 7.5% of money on for the contingency purposes, and little bit more fund has been kept for the asset development fund. Rest of the money should be shared. That's how RBI is able to sell some 2.6 lakh crore with the government. Very simple concept, but if properly not taught, it can create the confusion. This is the thing that is happening in the news. So there are definitely some positive things with the money. Government, if the government utilizes it for the investment purposes, then it is a good thing. Now you are taking the money and providing it for the subsidies or wastage, corruption, scams, then it is not the good thing. Okay, so there should be right utilization of the framework, and this is the framework as per the international norms and the standards. Okay, only thing you will say in the conclusion is the funds has to be utilized in a transparent manner. Okay, as a way it supports the growth and development of the nation. That's it. Very simple thing. Contingency. Contingency means, yeah. Contingency means RBI will keep it with itself. Contingency means any kind of emergency. For suppose, now say, what are the various functions of the RBI? Basically, it's a money to maintain the stability in the monetary policy, to maintain the stability in the exchange rate. Okay. For suppose the rupee value is falling so much. Okay, so maybe it is going to 100 and all. So RBI will involve there. Okay, they will try to either sell the rupee or buy the rupee as per the requirement. That's why they need to have money with themselves now to maintain that price stability and exchange rate stability. So these are the various things, various activities that. No. Okay. The final thing is I said is for the contingency they have to keep the 6.5%. The total economic framework should be maintained between 20.8% to the 25.4%. This is the broad range. For the contingency, they have said the 6.5. Okay, rest of the amount should be transferred. And another thing, Okay, so we have finished this topic. This one is done. This one is done. Just understand this thing now. Always e-vehicles are in the news. Government is trying to push these e-vehicles a lot. Electronic vehicles. Okay, because India has the target to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. In the conventional vehicles, what is happening in the conventional vehicles? How the vehicles are getting the fuel? We are burning the fossil fuels, petroleum. Okay, basically the prime component here is we burn the carbon content. Okay, and that's how we get the fuel. Okay, this carbon will be released. Okay, basically we are burning these fossils for fossil-based fuels, and then as a result, as a consequence, carbon dioxide will be released into the atmosphere. This carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. This will trap the temperatures. Okay, so this will keep the earth temperatures high. These are playing the role in global warming. So what if we reduce the release of such greenhouse gases? So for that purpose, go towards this e-vehicles. So e-vehicles can play the role in reducing the release of such greenhouse gases. But it has certain other challenges. For today, we are discussing only one challenge. They have mentioned in the article which was given in the Indian Express that they are playing role in the greenhouse gas reduction, but they are also resulting in the rise of pollution. There, what is the point they have mentioned is these e-vehicles, because of their battery load and all, the size of the vehicle is very high. With the weight they put on the tires will get degraded and small amount of particles come out of these tires. And these tires are generally made of rubber and plastics. In this way, they are releasing a kind of microplastics in the environment. So this is the thing that we need to take care. We are able to handle greenhouse gases, but what if we do not handle these kind of pollution? Okay, some technological advancement that we need to focus on here. Okay, so now where will I use this thing? They may ask one of the statements in the prelims. Okay, these e-vehicles can play the role in increasing the pollutions, especially the pollutant particles that are coming out of the degradation of the tires. These kind of questions they can ask. Even if they do not ask, in the mains, while talking about the positives and negatives of the e-vehicles, in one of the challenge I'll mention the weight of the vehicles are increasing. They are putting so much stress on these tires, and tires are getting degraded, which releases the pollutant particles in the atmosphere. Okay, currently we are only taking care of only about the vehicle exhaust. Okay, but these kind of tires related pollution we are not considering this thing. So it is a very important thing that we change our policies as per the requirement. Okay, vehicle weight, type, wear and the particle emissions. That's the point only we need to understand. Only we'll use this thing in the mains, especially when you write these kind of points in his mains, definitely will get the competitive advantage. Other students will be just mugging up content from the materials, notes. Okay, they will not be able to write these kind of dynamic content. So what happens in the UPSC is other students are also writing good answers. You need to get half mark extra from your peers, from your friends. To get that half mark extra, you should be doing something different. So when you write current events as a kind of example or as a point, as a substantiation, definitely you will get that extra edge. So that's why current affairs always play important role. They will bring dynamism in your answer. So I think that's it for today. If there are any topic left, let me just one check. This is a major thing. Chagos Islands. Okay, so the mapping related thing. Okay, if you can see here in the Indian Ocean, okay, we have already discussed about the Maldives. See here again mapping, the way we are focusing. This is the Indian Ocean. Here in the Indian Ocean, you have the group of islands. When there are group of islands, we'll call it as an archipelago, and its name is the Chagos Archipelago. Within that, one of the island is the Diego Garcia. Basically, they are the part of the Mauritius Islands. But when French occupied this thing, the control of Chagos archipelago went towards the French. From the French, it has went to the British. Now for them, for the British, they are maintaining the base here. Okay, they are maintaining the military base here so that they want to control the Indian Ocean. They will say for the piracy purposes and all, basically, but they want to control the China and the India. Okay, in the future, if something happens, they can launch attack. Okay, from these places. Okay, so that's why for them these places are very important. So Mauritius got independence in the 1960s from the British, but they have not transferred this island to the Mauritius. Now recently, very recently, they have made an agreement. Okay, they said they have accepted that Chagos archipelago and even Diego Garcia is a part of the Mauritius, but they have taken for 99 years lease this island from the Mauritius. Now they have respected the sovereignty. They are saying that we will pay you money, because for them also maintaining the base here. Okay, defense base is very important for them. Okay, India has also responded positively for this agreement, because we never support a kind of colonial tendencies. This is a kind of very good aspect where they have respected the sovereignty. Anything violating rule of law, anything violating the sovereignty, India will generally do not support. But in this case, it is a kind of progress towards the sovereignty. Okay? So that's why India has supported. Now see here, you need to see the map properly. They can ask you a question, arrange these islands from the north to south. They will ask you Seychelles, Madagascar, Mauritius. They may ask you to arrange these islands from the north to south. So when you study properly, you need to go through the maps. Okay, so see how many locations in every day we are going through going through some or something mapping locations, right? So if you have seen the content in the last 3-4 days, we have covered good number of mapping places as well. So do this way consistently. Now there is also various other things that are happening, small updates that are happening. Like say they are talking about Bangladesh. In the Bangladesh, currently interim government is happening. There is interim government. No elections have been conducted so far. So some dispute is going on, some fight is going on between the army general and the present leading head Yunus. Okay, so there are talks that he is going to step down. Okay, somehow they are saying that okay, we are supporting, or some kind of indirect support we are promoting to the army general or something. We do not know. We do not have any kind of evidences, but something is going to happen in the Bangladesh. Okay, let's wait and watch. Let's see what it happens. Try to connect with our concepts to these things, and you will get more clarity. Okay, so that's all for today. Hope the content is helpful. Thank you. Bye bye.